So I've just been reading Asmongold's latest WoW tweet about the negativity and the criticism and the feedback in the WoW community, and I just wanted to share my thoughts on it because I've been inspired by it, and I've had quite a lot of problems with WoW over the year, since it came out, to be honest. But the game is amazing. There's so much potential in it, but every single expansion there's always just some fucking bullshit that it wastes time, it's annoying, it's restrictive. Just let me play the game. So I'll start with my introduction to Shadowlands. So I played my Death Knight with my girlfriend. She was a warlock. We had a great time. The story was amazing, the zones are amazing. I'm enjoying it all. It looks great, it feels great to play. But then once you get to the end game, it kind of just fizzles out. So you have to pick a covenant, and then this covenant then has a power tied to it, which is, you know what the WoW community is like. If there's a good power, everyone's going to pick it. So for the majority of these covenants, every single class is kind of funneled down to this one covenant, and you can't play the other covenants in all the different types of content. This is what's so frustrating. How can one covenant fit in PvE, PvP, all the other different things you can do in World of Warcraft? This one covenant can't fit all the different types of content. It's just so frustrating. So my Death Knight, I'm a Blood Death Knight tank, so I really enjoy the Venthyr Swarming Mist Bone Storm combo. So that's why I went for that. But then, as I was doing a couple of mythics, I did a raid, I finished Castle Nafria, and it wasn't for me. The 3 hours of just doing that was not fun. I have an hour and a half of playtime before I fizzle out on WoW. So then, I did some mythics, I pushed some keys, but it was just a dungeon that I've done before that just got progressively more stressful, and it wasn't for me. So it's right, I've always enjoyed PvP, I love PvP, so I start getting involved in PvP, but this is the problem. I'm a Blood Death Knight tank, and I'm Venthyr. So it's right, I'll go Froth. Well, I played Unholy at first, and I had a great time on Unholy, but that's at the start of the expansion where every cunt is on the same eye level, so it's you can have fair fights. I'll talk about that in a minute. So, the eye level problem as well in PvP, but if you wanted to play now 6 months into the expansion and you're a new character or you're a new player to the game, you'll level up, you'll get 150 eye level from just getting to 60, and then you're going against people that have got 220 eye level in these battlegrounds. It's such a painful way to gear. Why? So it's a player versus player. You should have at least some scaling. I know they've done it in the past where you scale up and it's a bit more even, but why would a new player carry on playing the game if you enter a battleground and some little sweat comes over and just one hits you? It's the most boring, brain-dead thing. I can't believe it's still like this 6 months later. It's the reason I fizzled out on my Death Knight in the first place. I did some arena on him. I couldn't have grabby hands because the Covenant bullshit. So it's I have to choose between Swarming Mist and Bone Storm, or I have to choose between PvP, and it's just why? Just let me fucking play all the different types of content with the Covenants, because in 9.3, you're just going to let us fucking freely switch between them, probably. So, I hope so, because if you don't let us switch between them freely at any point, you're so detached, I just don't get who's thinking of what and who's in charge. It makes no sense. So, what else? Then, so I fizzled out on the Death Knight because I couldn't swap Covenants to be better in PvP. The PvE fizzled out for me, but I still enjoyed doing I still enjoyed Torghast playing Blood with the Venthyr combo Bone Mist thing, but then, this is with Torghast as well. So, Torghast, you've got to do 6 layers. Layers 1, 2, and maybe a bit of 4, so I'll just say layers 1 and 2. Layers 1 and 2 take the longest, and it's the most boring, brain-dead stuff because you're just acquiring these powers, and it takes 30 minutes to get to the fun layers, and then you've got 5 minutes of playing with your fun abilities, using them all, blowing stuff up, just having a blast, and then it ends. It's 30 minutes of grinding for 5 minutes of fucking 5 minutes of fun for 30 minutes of grinding, and that just sums up World of Warcraft, but it's not even that fucking good of a ratio. It's 40 hours of grinding for fucking 5 minutes of fun in this game, and that's what's so frustrating about it, and that's why I'm going on my little rant. So what else? hunting. So I leveled a hunter. I had a break from it. I was like, fuck off, Blizzard. I just pissed off for like 2 months. Then I came back. It's like, oh, I'll play the hunter. The hunter's like, I've always clicked with the hunter, especially in PvP. It's so fun just kiting people about and just being a nuisance, staying at the back line, not getting like, that was like, being a melee as well, with being a 200 eye level Death Knight that's stuck in melee range is just so frustrating in Battlegrounds where I play. It's just, you just get insta-killed. It's just so unsatisfying. It's not challenging for the person that can just 2-hit me. It's not challenging for me because I'm just like, well, even if I pop all these cooldowns, I still die, so it's just fucking pointless. So, I'm playing the Hunter. It's like, I'm enjoying myself, I do the Shadowlands intro, I'm having fun, I'm changing in all the specs, I'm switching between Marksman and Beast Mastery. I get through the intro, and it's like, right, I've got to get some gear, fair enough. So, I go into a battleground while I'm doing the questing to like break it up a bit, because the thought of doing all of the fucking, even though there's threads of fate, the thought of doing it all again is just, it's mind-numbing. Like, I've done it once, I remember it, I don't want to fucking do it again. So, here's the problem. When the battleground queue pops up, I go in, I've got like 14k health, and then you've got people in there with like 24k health. But that's not even that bad compared to what is happening at max level. So if I was to go on Egg, now my Death Knight, he'd be on like, well, he's got quite a lot of health, but if you were a fresh like level 60, you'd be on like 20k health going against 40k health. In this like 50 to 59 bracket, the PvP, you'll join at like 14k health. If you've got like BFA gear from back in the day, like you'll be fucking so high, your health will be so high, it's insane. But if you're just a noob, you've just like leveled up normally, you'll have like 14k health in the 50 to 59 bracket from like level 50. And then you start getting some gear, and you start getting more health, and then the gap starts closing. So 14k turns 50k to 16k, 17k. Once you get to like 18k, you start feeling competitive. You can fight people for a decent amount of time. You don't get two-shot by anything. Like, well, it depends on your class, I guess. But as a hunter, I have a lot of tools. I don't get one hit. I don't get insta-gibbed. It's so much more fun than my Death Knight. So I'm leveling. So at one point, I get to like level 55, I've got like all the chunks of gear on the map, all the threads of fate, I've got all the chunks of gear I can that are like decent upgrades, and I'm sitting on like a decent amount of health. Not amazing, like there's still people in here with like 6, 7, 8k more health than me. There's level 60s queuing in here because they're queuing with someone, that's another problem. So you've got a lot of OP people, but even though they're OP, they're not as OP as the people that are in the 60 endgame PvP bracket. So it's more bearable playing here. So I get to 55 and I'm like, fucking hell, I'm really enjoying myself here. Like, I can fight people, I can kite people, I can like do some 2v1s, like stuff's possible now. Like, I've not been able to do that on my Death Knight at all because he's just, what a wet noodle of a class the Death Knight is. What a frustrating class I picked to play in Shadowlands. Like, I wish I went Hunter first. Maybe I'd just have a better time from the start, but whatever. So I'm level 55, and I'm enjoying myself, so I stopped questing completely. I'm just AFK in Oribos, and all I'm doing is I'm getting the Mercenary buff, because the queue times are ridiculous for Horde, so I've got the Mercenary buff, and my Orc Hunter was a permanent Dwarf Hunter for like the next 5 levels all the way to 60, and I got to level 59, and then they released this fucking Battleground bonus buff where you now get 50% more XP for winning Battlegrounds, which just made me level to 60, which just ruined my experience. Like, I was having so much fun in the 50 to 59 bracket, and now that I've dinged 60 on my Hunter, it's like, I can't have fun anymore, because I've got to go do Torghast, I've got to do, my Covenant campaign, don't even get me started. I did this bullshit on my Death Knight, it's like, I happen to be Venthyr on my Hunter, because Flayed Shot is amazing, and the Kill Shot combo is amazing, but I've already done all this bullshit on my Death Knight, and it's like, there's 3 other Covenants I want to check out, but, So I'm stuck here, I've got to like chapter 5 out of 9, and I've fizzled out, I can't be arsed doing it, like, I've not got my Legendary, the thought of doing Torghast again, like, I wouldn't mind doing Torghast again, to be honest, because I've not seen the powers yet, so maybe, I don't know, I can't really bitch about that yet. And then, so, what I mentioned Oribos before, this is another little thing I'm just going to nudge in there. There's no fucking auction house in Oribos. You time-wasted little... you fuckers. Like, yeah, everyone's got a long boy, but there's not a long boy in Oribos every time. Like, I picked up engineering just to speak to that stupid robot to be able to go to the auction house. It's like, okay, fair enough. And then the mailbox is just all the way across Oribos. It's just stupid, time-wasting little things like this. It's like, how many times are you? How much time are you gonna waste in this game? It's so unnecessary. Like, they're so detached. Like, it's just. You'd keep and retain so many more people if you didn't do bullshit like this. You respected people's time and just let them play the game. Like, this restrictions they put in is just unbelievable. I get so frustrated because the game is so amazing and there's so much potential that it's just, there's this barrier. There's like, you've got to play 6,000 hours to get past this barrier to have fun. It's like, why? You'd have so many more players if you just kept it fun from the fucking beginning with no time wasting bullshit. So now my hunter's like 150 eye level. I have to go get my legendary. I have to go do this. I have to finish my Covenant campaign. I have to play hundreds and hundreds of arena games or battlegrounds to even get on a semi-competitive level with these people. And it's just like, I'm not going to do it. Like, you've killed it for me. Like, what do you want me to say? It's just dead to me. So now I've either got to... Well, I'm probably going to fizzle out for another month now. So I had a great time leveling 50 to 59 through PvP. But now it's like, oh, and I can't freeze my character at 59 to stay there because the queues, if you're a twink, are dead. And it's just... I don't know. It just leaves me speechless. And I've not even touched on 1,000 things that frustrate me about this game. There's probably loads I've missed, but this game, I've been rambling for a while now. So... those are my problems. What problems do you have with the game? I don't know. I'll always be back because WoW is a great game at the heart of it. But it could be it's a great game, but it could be the perfect game. And there's always something that just makes it not a perfect game. And just I don't know. I don't have the words. I can't form the words. It just feels like there's no brain in between everyone that makes these systems. It's like, why can't you switch covenants freely? Like, what is the reason, honestly? Why did you put powers tied to it? It's just made me so salty to the entire thing. And that's not even all the other expansions. There's a fucking problem in every expansion. So, I'm done. I'll probably upload this video and then just fucking have a break from WoW for another month again. So, GG. Love you all. Peace.